Yo, what is going on? We back. I'm back. Shout out to my guy Dody. Welcome to another episode of Late to the Party with Dody and Reggie. I am Reggie. Shout out to Dody. It is Easter. As I am recording, and my man, family man, you gotta love it, right? And so here we are, flying solo, right? Shout out to the team though. I want to first off start by, I think this is episode 45 or 46 of the Late to the Party podcast, and we are growing. It's a slow process. I did not know how much that goes into doing a podcast, and as a two-man team, we are trying to really start getting some things out there. So I like to thank everybody that has subscribed to the YouTube channel. We have moved up to I think it's like 95 subscribers. Low number to y'all, but if what they say, if you had 95 people in your house right now, it'd be packed. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to the folks that's following us on Instagram and TikTok. All right. I gotta play my intro. We gotta start with an intro song. We're gonna rock with a little intro from now on for a second, right? Let's start it. Shout out to Captain T.
We raised on sinning, man. Cookouts and chillin', then. We go to church on Sunday.
Monday start over again.
The world ain't small at all, cause I ain't heard of y'all. If you ain't heard of me, my nigga, this how we raised, dawg. Raised up on making money, raised up on shine things. Raised dropping big bodies with palm trees in the mirror, man. Raised up those country tip with Chevys on them blooming things. Raised up making tracks, putting country grandma on everything. Raised up on making money.
Shout out to the big bro Captain T, man. That is a local classic, and that dropped like in the year 2000, 2001, right? We're gonna try to change up a few things as well. I know people do like when we play the music and stuff like that. As we are learning the copyrights and stuff like that, we trying to navigate the system and make sure that we doing everything in our efforts to make sure that we are being shown to the masses, right? So as far as when it comes to the YouTube, if y'all do watch the YouTube videos, there probably won't be as much music. We're gonna probably cut some things out just because of the copyright, and we not to the point yet of getting return from YouTube, but you know how I go. You know what I'm saying? Like you want to start beforehand. You know what they say, like you how you act when no one is around, blah, blah, all that good stuff, right? So we want to go ahead and start preparing ourselves for the bigger and brighter lights, right? So again, welcome to another episode of Late to the Party with Dody and Reggie. I am Reggie. Shout out to Dody. Like I said, it's Easter, busy weekend. I was busy at the shop. So there are a few topics that I want to touch on, pause, while I'm here today. All right. One thing that we was going to talk about, and there's a few things that we was going to talk about that I do want to save until when Dody is here with me. All right. So with that being said, let's jump into the first topic, right? Let's jump into the first topic.
I'm gonna sue.
This Drake and Kendrick beef, right? And here we are 1 year later, like officially 1 year later. I think yesterday was like the anniversary of when Push Ups dropped. And yes, Like That came out beforehand. First Person Shooter came out before that. But the Push Up song was the official, like, let's go, right? We had Push Ups dropped. Right after that, he dropped Tailor Made, and then we had a 17-day grace period before the week of fucking pandemonium broke out, right? And that, what, from Tuesday to Sunday, we had like 3 diss tracks from, no, what was it? The 4 diss tracks, because Euphoria, then 616 in LA, and then Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us all came out in that short time span, right? So the reason we bringing that up, first off, it is the anniversary of, like I said, that whole jump off. On one hand, you got Kendrick, who just started, him and SZA just started the Grand National Tour, the Grand National Experience Tour, or whatever they want to call it, GNX Tour. And I think they started in Minneapolis, right? From the videos of it, it looked sold out. It looked packed. It looked like they actually was selling out the tickets, because, you know, you get online and you see all these people posting about they've been going to websites and people ain't selling tickets, and other websites are selling tickets for half off and all this stuff, which, hey, it is what it is. The internet is not the real place, right? So on that end, you have Kendrick doing that. On the other end,
I'm gonna sue.
You have Drake still revising the lawsuit that he have against, not Kendrick. He's not suing Kendrick. He is suing UMG, right? The amendment that popped out this time was he added the NFL. He added, now I'm not saying, I don't think he's necessarily suing the NFL or Fox or stuff like that, but he have started to mention more names of people that he think that is helping with the whole scope of things of bringing him down, right? So he has amended his lawsuit. He added the NFL, because the NFL let Kendrick perform that song in front of 100-something million people. He added Fox, which is where the Super Bowl is aired, right? Which also it aired on Tubi. Shout out to Tubi, which is owned by Fox, so still the same thing. And then also he added some of the YouTubers. Like, he had other names in the first case where the YouTubers were saying certain things. Now he's putting other videos and clips in there. He put in a clip, or he added Joe Budden, the Joe Budden podcast, where Joe Budden was like, he said something about Kendrick using bots. And he was like, you think Kendrick didn't use bots? But he was like, everybody's using bots. The only thing with that, Drake and team, is once you add in that, hey, this podcast said Kendrick would need bots to beat me, so he definitely used bots. Well, in that same clip, Joe Budden also said everybody uses bots. So also in that, also on the Joe Budden podcast, he said you like young girls, right? So if you're going to use that in court of like, hey, he said it over here, so it gotta, you know what I'm saying? Well, let's go to the other side, because if you saying you believe Joe Budden when he say Kendrick used bots, he also said you use bots. He also said you was on playlists. He also said you like young girls. So I think this lawsuit is a very weird place that we are in. And not that I'm against suing a company. I think if Drake's suing the company for real reasons, I'm not mad at it. And I've said that before. But right now, it just seemed like you suing because you lost a battle. And I know everybody like to say, well, no, that's not it. You know, how can y'all be for the machine when he's trying to fight the machine? It's an odd time to fight the machine, though, ain't it? Because this machine has been pushing for you, and it seemed like this has been just dragging on and on and on both sides. Don't get me wrong, on both sides. Because when the Super Bowl happened, I was like, I don't want Kendrick to even perform that song. I don't even want him to make this Super Bowl moment about Drake. But he did. Cool. We passed it. He said game over, right? But the thing is, the more Drake is poking, if y'all listen to some sexy songs for you or whatever, there's obviously subliminals. there's obviously shots thrown online. There's obviously the homeboys of Drake that's also saying shit online. You got the dude top 5 talking crazy online, right? I didn't want Kendrick to make the tour about him, right? And not that the whole tour is about Drake, not the whole concert, right? Not the whole show. But from what I've seen, of course, he do a couple of the diss songs. He do Not Like Us. That's his number 1 hit right now. And of course, he's going to do Not Like Us. But in the midst of all that, he got interludes on the screen where he is kind of poking at Drake. And at first I was like, I don't want him to do that. But if one side of this war continue to fight, even if you doing it in your sneaky way, I'm just gonna be blatant with it. So I'm not now I'm on the side of like, yeah, fuck it. Like 50 Cent still throw shots at Ja Rule. It's never gonna end. It's always up. And when it's up, it's like Cardi, it's up and it's stuck. You know what I'm saying? It's forever now, right? Especially if you're gonna continue to you keep revising this lawsuit. And I'm not saying that I mean, if you felt hurt, that's another thing that that's another thing that was added to the lawsuit as well. Drake writing in there or putting in there, maybe it was his team or it's in there where Drake is saying, I was hurt. He made me feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I'm sad. All this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just funny to look back on hindsight of all of this. Like, I might get Dody. I might get Dody and my son because y'all gotta, man, me and my son during that week, we was, everybody bond with their kids over different things. Boy, when it come to music, me and my oldest son, we bond. We bond. So I remember when Euphoria dropped, my son texted me from school like, yo, Dad, listen to it. And I'm like, man, I'm at work. I told my client, hold on, let me look this song up real quick. Put it in my headphones. Going crazy. But anyway, it's going to be a lot of that happening right now. And with this lawsuit, with Kendrick on tour, the online Avengers of both sides is not going anywhere. And I just wanted to talk about that for a little bit and just to think about where we are a year later. Officially a year later. Would Kendrick still be talking about this as much? And not even as much, but would he make it so much a part of his? I mean, I guess not, because a lot of the stuff that he's poking at now is him or Drake suing UMG. So a lot of the stuff, like on one of the interludes online, it's like him in a deposition room. If y'all remember the time that Wayne was in a deposition and he was like, they was asking about certain dates, and Wayne was like, man, I don't remember dates, but I know I was performing at this bad bitch birthday party. You know what I'm saying? Like that deposition video that went around for a while. It's kind of like Kendrick is poking fun at that while also poking fun at what is going on. That's one thing about it, though. And I'm gonna leave it here. One thing about this beef or this tit for tat that is going on, Drake is doing it, but he's doing it subliminal. Like on the album when he said, if I die, you know, I'm paraphrasing, but if I die, what are you going to do? Have the strippers on stage with dictionaries? Like, you doing that kind of stuff. And that's cool because that's how Drake has always been. One thing about Kendrick, he is putting out to the forefront. Boom. This is how I feel, right? This is how it is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not mad at that, right? While we are here,
I'm gonna sue.
Not the last case, but one case that has been dropped was Saint Lunatics was suing Nelly for country grammar. You know, they say that Nelly didn't write country grammar, but he wasn't wanting to pay, you know, Ali and them. So this has been going on actually for a while. So it was Nelly was being sued by the Saint Lunatics because he was not crediting or not paying the other members for their input on country grammar. And it's only for country grammar. Like Nelly had some hits after that as well, but it's only for country grammar, right? So the Saint Lunatics was suing him for not being paid. Now, last year, all the other Saint Lunatics, they dropped their case. It was like, shit, we out of here, right? And then they were still touring and doing stuff like that, but Ali was the only one to stay in the case. But it just happened like, I think it was maybe sometime last week. It was like beginning of April, right? Ali, being the only remaining member to be suing, finally dropped his case and boom, the trial is over, right? It don't say what happened, but I am hearing, I'm hearing like I know people, but it has been word that there is a settlement, but they don't, from what I was reading or what I have read up until this moment, I don't see anything about a settlement or if there was, like what they got paid from it, but they touring. You get what I'm saying? So maybe that's a little kickback, right? Nelly got one of them albums for people from the South. It was a monumental time, right? I know he from the Midwest, and I know we wasn't the only people listening to it, but at that time, I'm going down, down, baby, you're in the over, baby, ready to. That was one of them, right? When Nelly dropped it shook up some things, right? But my thing is, with him, when y'all hear certain people that we grew up on, people my age, 35 and up. I'm 38, but 35 and up. When you hear rappers that we grew up on didn't write their lyrics, does that change anything? Now, there's certain artists to me, I would say would change some things. But now as we get older and you understand who back then was getting songs written, depending on who the artist is, I'm fine with that. And maybe it's because of the new world. There's so many rappers right now that ain't writing none of their own shit, right? So maybe with me growing up, Eazy-E had hits and we knew he didn't write them. You know what I'm saying? Dre had hits, we know he didn't write them. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's certain people, P. Diddy, it's certain people that we are okay with, even as rappers. I mean, more R&B people, of course. But as rappers, we're okay with if they don't write their own stuff. Because nobody was putting Nelly in like, he's the greatest rapper of all time. Although he was rapping, he had some hits. But we wasn't putting him in a category with a Eminem or a Pac or a Jay-Z or Nas or anybody like that. So are you okay with certain artists not writing their music, their lyrics? And I think sometimes it don't even have to be a lyrical thing. Sometimes it can be like your story, right? Nelly was just making hits. So if you didn't write it, cool. Now, yes, you should be paying your people. You should be paying your people what you owe them. Y'all came up together. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was supposed to be a group. The word is that they wrote these songs together to perform them as groups. But then Nelly on the back end was doing some grimy shit and going around and performing them or putting them out as solo tracks, which that's crazy. Like, think about me and Dody. Think about me and Dody. We a team. We doing this and doing this. But then I start going in the offices and taking money and say, no, I'm gonna get you back, though. I'm gonna get you back on the back end. But then I'm keeping a contract for me. That would be crazy. That's crazy shit. So if he was doing that, that's wild. But I don't even care about the lawsuit as much because I mean it's over. That album was 30 years ago almost. So I mean I know it wasn't 30 years, but it's like 25 years ago. So the only thing that I started to think about from this is, what artists are you okay with not writing their lyrics? Like Nelly, okay, cool. What about Luda though? Luda was a lyrical monster, but he also was having fun just making hits. The first song we heard from him is What's Your Fantasy? If it come out, he didn't write that. Like, what do we think about that? If Webby didn't write G shit, what do you think about that? That's one of them. I put Webby in one of them categories where it wasn't lyrical. Like, it wasn't like lyrical miracle shit. But it was your story. It's how you brought it to us. It's how you introduced it. Young Buck. Young Buck wasn't a lyrical miracle, but it was your sound. It was what you did. You come back and now he didn't write nothing on Welcome to Cashville or whatever, right? That's just some shit. That's some stuff we think about as we get older because things start to change. You know what I'm saying? But that's cool. Oh, back to the Drake thing. Drake was live streaming with Aiden Ross. I didn't watch any of it. But on the Kick is the streaming service that they own. I think it's Kick or Twitch or one of them. They're talking about Drake becoming a weekly streamer. How you feel about that? Now, on one hand, fuck it, there's money out there. There's money to be made. Like I tell my kids all the time, if you are a person with any type of notoriety and you can get some extra bags off of fucking playing a game, whether you good or not, go get that. But then on the other hand, Drake the biggest artist in the world. Fuck the rap beef. Like, yeah, you lost to Kendrick, and I think Kendrick destroyed you. You still the biggest. You one of the biggest rappers in the world, though. Do you have time to be streaming? Are they paying you a bag like that to be streaming? It's like, I don't know. Like, that's just crazy. Like, and I was about to say, think about the biggest artist you know, but hell, we talking about Drake. Think about Drake. Now Drake got a schedule every Tuesday. He's streaming for 5 to 6 hours. That's just crazy. He gonna get a bag though, because if them companies are paying the Casanats, the Duke Dennis, the Aiden Ross, the XQC, or whatever his name is, if they paying them what they paying, and them folks getting the numbers that they getting, Whether after a month Drake don't have the personality to really stream, because I don't think he really has the personality to be a streamer. Like Academics is, although I don't fuck with him like all the time, he is great for streaming. Casanet, great for streaming. Aiden Ross, which I don't like at all, he great for streaming. I don't think Drake really has that personality. But think about that first 4 to 5 streams. And maybe he'll still get numbers after that. But think about them first 4. Like the first month of, Drake is streaming for 5 to 6. All them numbers will go crazy. And you can start dropping some music through there too. You be like, hey, while I'm here, I got these new songs. Which, hey, hey now, might be a good idea. Might be a good idea. That's how you gonna really tell who fucking with the song and who not. Chat, you know what I'm saying? Hey, chat. I don't know where that came from, but hey, chat. Like, who started that? Anyway, along with the Young Money thing, Wayne going on his press run. Me and Dody literally 2 weeks ago asked, when are we going to start seeing a rollout for Wayne's album? And literally a week after that, not even a full week, a couple days after that, you started to see you could pre-order the album. You see sponsored ads and all that. And now he did an interview. Excuse me. He did an interview with Rolling Stone. I haven't even read the Rolling Stone. I don't even care. I did read a few clips though. Wayne, and I know you're listening because we asked about the rollout and you started doing the rollout. But Wayne, what is the deal with the line when people ask you questions? One thing he lied about, and I don't care what nobody say. I don't know Wayne, don't know who he is as far as, as a person. I don't even know how it got to the question, but Wayne Carter said he did not know Kanye West and Jay-Z made an album together, and he had never heard Watch the Throne. Are you fucking kidding me? Now, this is where sometimes my age start to kick in, and I'd be like, yeah, I wasn't there. When that album came out, a few things happened. Number one, he rapped over the ham beat. You rapped over it. You was killing all kind of beats back in the day. All right? I was there for that. And then second to that, you dissed them on stage when you dropped the mic and walked off. I don't know exactly how it go, but you was saying something like in a realm of like, I asked a bitch while she was at the crib what she wanted to watch. And she said whatever, but we won't watch the throne. Come on, fam. I don't know if it's the drugs that's like making him like forget certain shit. Cause he's been around for a long time and he's done a lot of drugs. He's drunk a lot of lean. He smoked a lot of weed. Or you just lying to our face. And that's understandable. A lot of these people, one thing I've ran into online, debating with people online, a lot of the people wasn't there. A lot of people wasn't there, and a lot of people don't understand exactly what was happening. But I'm not a historian, but I know some about music, especially when it comes to down south. We talked about that, my down south bias. We talked about that. Wayne, I remember it. Another thing he lied about, one, not knowing Not Like Us was a diss song. You hear me? He said he didn't know Not Like Us was a diss song. And then number two, he said he didn't know it was Kendrick Lamar. And he didn't know he was dissing his boy. So when we seen him rapping along to the song, it was just a song that he liked and thought it was cool. So what did you think when he said, say Drake, I heard you like him young? What did you think when he said, Baka got a weird case, why is it? You know these people. Party at the party, playing with his nose now. Baka got a weird case, why is he around? Certified lover boy, certified. What did you think it was like? You at home and you just riding. Now, it's only funny because I'm listening to songs that I grew up on now and starting to understand them different. But you already grown, goddammit. You are a full-grown adult. You riding around, you listen to that song and you like, yep, they not like us. It get to the end of the song, you saying OV ho. You just rapping in the car. What do you think he talking about? It's just crazy. Another thing this man lied about was saying, now we didn't see, or I didn't see like pictures of the room or nothing like that. But they was talking about Dirk. This man said he didn't know Dirk was locked up. While at the same time in your room where the reporter came to, you had free Dirk shirts hanging up. You got to stop it. We got to stop it. I honestly don't even understand what's the point of it. You know, I don't know. It's just weird. It's just weird. Like, I don't know what you get out of it. And he was talking about like not wanting Drake to be mad at him. But if you didn't know it was a diss song, why would he be mad at you? Wayne also put out his track list. Not his track list, but he put out his feature list for the Carter 6 album, which, I mean, I listing the features out beforehand don't make me want to listen to the album or not want to listen to the album. While this album do got a few different names that we haven't seen, one name that I didn't see is Drake. Now, no, Wayne don't have to have Drake on his album, but there is no Drake. Also with Young Thug's album, there is no Drake. No, these people don't have to have the people like before somebody be like, I mean, so and so not on there. I understand that, but that's kind of big at the moment right now, especially when they was going through the whole Super Bowl thing and Drake was saying this and Nicki Minaj saying this. Nicki not on the album, at least right now. Things can change. The album don't come out until June, so we a month and a half, 2 months away. So things can change. You know what I'm saying? I find it interesting that these people that rock with Drake like they say they still do, and especially when it come to Thug and Lil Baby, where he would usually be part of it in some capacity. Things can change. But we don't see a Drake feature on a couple of these albums. A few other things I want to talk about real quick. You know what I'm saying? Let's stay on music. Let's talk about some new music that dropped, right? Or new music that is coming out, right? So if y'all know about Mass Appeal is a record label which most of their artists are like a legacy act artist or something like that. So they put out billboards, and I think Nas is a co-founder of the label. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's a big part of it. But so they've been putting up billboards, and then I also saw online that they have 7 albums coming out this year from certain artists, right? You got Nas and DJ Premier. Definitely looking forward to that. First of all, because Nas have been like on a crazy fucking run at these years of his career. And I say that with Jay-Z in mind, and not because like there's scales, right? And in the beginning of Nas's career, Nas was still Nas, don't get me wrong. But once Jay-Z became Jay-Z, it's like, even after you ethered him, Jay-Z still Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? His catalog is more supreme to yours. You know what I'm saying? More notable. But these past few years, maybe I will put their albums side by side, like, and really go through their albums. But these past few years, the run that he had with the King disease and all that, like, that man has been Nas have been on a run. But anyway, you got Nas and DJ Premier. You got Mobb Deep album coming, which I really would like to see how they do that. And I do want to hear that. You got Ghostface Killah, De La Soul, a Big L album, which I definitely got to see how they do that. And you got a Raekwon solo album. And then on the billboard, it say the epic return of, and then it's like, it don't say the name. Right? Those are some real good albums. Like, besides the Nas album, I do want to hear the Mobb Deep. I want to hear Big L because I want to see how they do that. De La Soul is iconic. I understand that. They don't really stand out to me as much, and I know somebody gonna say something, but the Raekwon, I want to hear Ghostface Killah. That's who I want to hear. I want to hear Ghostface Killah. And then I also want to hear who is the iconic artist, because it say the iconic return of, or the epic return of ... Now, I don't know everybody who signed a Mass Appeal, all right? But looking at this list, like I seen somebody, and I went back and forth with somebody about it being Jay-Z. It's not going to be Jay-Z because it's a Mass Appeal thing, all right? So there is talks of who it might be. But you know who I think it might be? Again, I don't know who all signed to Mass Appeal. But you know, matter of fact, I won't say who I think it would be. I'm going to say, you know who I want it to be? Big Daddy Kane. Oh, Big Daddy Kane or Rakim. Oh. 2 lyricists. Something from them right now, I don't care to hear them rap like one thing that I think we fuck up in our culture is saying that this is a young man's game. People are getting old. Artists are getting older. The people who grew up with these artists are also getting older. I'm 38 years old. I will be 39 soon. I was shit, a baby when, Big Daddy Kane and Rakim was doing their thing. But I would love for it to be a Big Daddy Kane. I saw some people talking about Special Ed. Special Ed to me is like, he had the one big song and maybe he had some other stuff, but I'm not looking for no Special Ed album. That thing said the Epic Return. Epic Return is not a one-hit wonder. You get what I'm saying? Like, I Got It Made was a hit. And people still, like, I Got It Made. Like, you can listen to that now and be like, oh, this nigga was snapping and stunting on these niggas. But that's not an epic return. An epic return is a Big Daddy Kane, a Rakim, a Andre 3000, even though Andre 3000 is not mass appeal, I'm pretty sure. But that's epic returns. You get what I'm saying? Like, those are the names that you look for when you hear somebody say, we got an epic return. Speaking of epic returns, you like my segue. Y'all like, come on. What they say, like and comment and tell me what you thought about my segue. But speaking of epic returns, Tommy Davidson. If y'all grew up on Martin or just watched the Martin show or went back, they have a spinoff of Varnell Hill right now. I repeat, 30 years later, they have a spinoff of Martin with the Varnell Hill show. Do y'all know how many episodes Varnell Hill was on? He was only like 2 episodes. Epic episodes. Like, and bouncing on my knee. Like, nigga, Varnell Hill was hilarious. Tommy was hilarious on that episode. Even making Martin break character. But 30 years later, are we looking for a spinoff? I think it's going to be on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. But are we looking for a Martin spinoff right now? And if so, are we looking for a Varnell Hill spinoff? Because if nothing else, I would have liked to see him at that time. Like, let me see his life at that time when he was talking to Rerun about motherfuckers coming to his house in Hollywood and shit. Like, let me see that. Now we can't even do the backstory because if Tommy gonna be playing the same character, like, we can't even get a backstory. So I'm definitely gonna watch it, but I would like to see, like, what's the storyline 30 years later. Because we did, like, as him being Varnell Hill, we don't know a lot about him. We don't know a lot about him in his character. So we just gonna, from those 2 episodes on Martin, and we're just gonna jump 30 years later and see what his career like. Hell, we didn't know what his career was like at the time. Oh well, you know what? I take that back. Now that I'm thinking about it, we know he worked at WZUP before Martin got there. Martin got there because Varnell Hill was blowing up. He got his own TV show. So I guess we know that. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't like people at his crib, so we know that. But that'll be interesting to see where we go with that. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about when music drops, and then the Varnell Hill popped up in my head because we was talking about epic returns. Wallo. Wallo was at a conference or something, and he said this. Let's see what y'all think about this.
No black people, nobody gives a fuck about that. Kill that shit. Either you got a good business or you don't. All that shit, don't nobody want to hear that shit. That's a hustle. Support me because I got a black business. Is your restaurant clean? Is the food good? Do you got consistent cooks? Is the material of your shit good? Stop doing that. Oh, you support the white people? No, I support consistency, baby. Yeah. Well, fuck about what color you is. I'm gonna spend my money. That paper, I'm gonna spend them where the fuck I want to spend it at. Whether it's Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do while I'm here. But I'm gonna tell you one thing, I ain't gonna be finessed off some black shit. But one thing about it, 70% of you motherfuckers is not going to make it. I'm not no motherfucking fake ass motivational speaker that talk this dumb shit. I'm the number one nigga in the country. You know why? Y'all seen me come out of the penitentiary. I mean.
So that's Wallo from $1 Million Worth of Game. Shout out to Wallo and Gilly the Kid. I love Wallo. I won't say love. Love is a strong word. I don't know Wallo. I like Wallo. I like when he speak. I wish he would have worded that different. I 100% get what he was saying. But I first listen, you hear a black man who is who seems to be strongly supportive of black businesses, while also being signed to his podcast, been signed to Barstool, where the owner of Barstool have said some questionable stuff. So our first listen, it sounded a little crazy. While I definitely understand what he was saying, I wish he would have worded it different. And without knowing exactly what he wanted to say, it just seemed like he was saying, you can't just get supported because you're black. Continuously. I tell my brother, I tell my sons, I tell my homie, I tell Dody, I tell my clients, I tell my wife every time, if you are a black business, you come to me and you say, I'm a black business support. The first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to see what you got. I'm going to support. People around here sell plates, support. You make shirts, support. You sell shoes, support. You got a grocery store, you do lawn care. You got a hair store around here, support. And I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think everybody black should support black. But I will not continuously support you just because you're a black business. Shout out to Hamburger Hill down here and my homie TK and his wife. Some of the best smash burgers in the world. From my taste buds, from what I have tasted. I supported him off rip. He's a black man, strong black man too. But I will continuously support him because the business that him, his wife, their talk game, their cleanliness, their consistency, what they do is consistent. So now I'm not only supporting a black business, I'm just supporting a business that I like. There are so many businesses or so many, you'll see, let's just say you get on Facebook. Somebody say, hey, me and my son just started a car washing business. Support local, support black owned. Cool. Let's go. You feel me? What you charge, don't even matter. We're going to do it. Let's go. All right, you wash my car. You got streaks on the window. You know what I mean? There's something in my, you done fucked up the leather a little bit on the seat. Just nothing crazy. All right, I'm going to talk to you about that. I'm going to support you again. Because, hell, I done got fucked over by a lot of other businesses anyway. I might as well at least give you a second chance. Now, the second time, streaks on my window. Tires ain't really get clean. Little crevices of my rims not clean. Now, at this point, either I got the option of giving you another go or just chalking it up. That's what I think Wallo was saying. Y'all have to be, you know how many businesses down here say, hey, we got this restaurant open. We go to the restaurant, they close, but you look on the door, they open from 9 to 5 every day. It's 12 in the afternoon. Where y'all at? Hey, where y'all at? That's not consistency. You got bad attitudes and stuff like that. It's we shall and we should support only because you black. Off rip, I don't even give a fuck. You black, I'm going to buy every single time. But if it's not good material in your shirts, if it's not good business, if every time I come to you, you throwing money at me and you throwing change at me and you got an attitude, what makes me want to continue to support you? Because I won't do it just because you're black. That's all I feel. I just feel like, and from doing the podcast, you learn sometimes you start talking. Some shit just sound crazy. That's why I don't understand why there's some people like Dog and Wallo. You got to kind of you got to see the context and you just got to kind of listen rather than just going off a headline. Because matter of fact, when I first looked this story up, I mean, I heard it, but when I first looked the story up, the headline says something in terms of like, Wallo downs black entrepreneurs. That's not what he doing. He not saying he not gonna support you because you black. He said he won't only support you because you black. I just think that's interesting. When you get online, boy, like people online, it's like one thing or the complete opposite. There's no middle ground. There's no, wait a minute. That's why I had to pull back on debating through words with people, like typing stuff. Because you can't read, you can't hear the tone. People can't, you know what I'm saying? Like stuff get misconstrued. Even if I was just to make a video, people would pick out what they want and won't actually do the knowledge of what's actually happening. You get what I'm saying? Like, I that's the problem that I run into, and that's the problem that I hate when stuff online happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's shit weird. But that's people in general. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story. I think that's all I really got, because I got some stuff on this list, but it's some stuff that I rather talk about with my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I mean, and some of this stuff we might touch on again. Pause. You know what I mean? Like, my bad. I'm just looking through my list. Side note: did y'all know Tony Yayo? We all know Tony Yayo helped with like John Cena, right? Like, not in the sense like he helped him wrestle, but like the "you can't see me" thing that came from John Cena. I mean, that came from Tony Yayo. But did you also know that Tony Yayo was like a component in the Hot Ones? Like the Hot Ones show is the place where you go on, you ask questions, and you eat a wing while you're asking questions. Like Tony Yayo was the part of like that show where it's like, nah, you got to make them eat the wing while they trying to, like, right after they eat the wing, you ask them a question. You know what I mean? Like he was that part of the show of like finally getting it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just thought that was cool. That wasn't on the list. While I was thinking about stuff that popped up in my mind. Have y'all seen all these Mount Rushmore pictures and stuff? And we're going to talk about some of them. But without even telling y'all everybody that was on the Atlanta Mount Rushmore, I'm pretty sure some of y'all have seen it. Y'all have to stop putting Andre 3000 by himself. That's another thing that certain people have made the world believe, right? Like certain people have made the world believe that Andre is just Andre 3000. We got to stop doing that. you gotta put Outkast on there if you're gonna put if Andre 3000 is on your Mount Rushmore, he can't be on a Mount Rushmore by himself. He is Outkast. Like, yes, one of the greatest rappers of all time. But so is Big Boy. And Big Boy has put out more music. But for some reason, we like have gotten in our mind that it's like, is Andre by himself? Which, hey, on one side, it's cool. I love Andre. But if we make it a Mount Rushmore, Andre by himself is not part of the Mount Rushmore of anything. It's always Outkast. Always Outkast. But the reason I even ask about these Mount Rushmores is, this is another thing that people online, you just run into a problem with. People online, they'll say, who's on your Mount Rushmore of blah, blah, blah? Like somebody said, who's on your Mount Rushmore of white rappers? Mount Rushmore of white rappers. Somebody said Paul Wall. I love Paul Wall. But before Paul Wall, first, if we just working backwards, you got Eminem, you got House of Pain, you got Beastie Boys, you got hell for what it's worth, you got Vanilla Ice. Yeah, I know, one hit wonder, blah blah blah. He's fake, he's this, but he also made something mainstream of the time. Like, a Mount Rushmore is not your favorite. Mount Rushmore is not your favorite. And that's what the Mount Rushmore is becoming. When you think about the Mount Rushmore, it's four heads on the mountain. Four heads on the mountain. And the four heads, when people say make a Mount Rushmore, it's kind of like the forefathers. Impact. Who started this? Who got this shit going? You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody made a what was it? It was a trap Mount Rushmore. Not saying the word trap, because if you go back before T.I., Jeezy, Gucci, people were saying the word trap. Like, shout out to Ghetto Mafia. But when we talk about the trap music, who is on the Mount Rushmore? Somebody did not have T.I. And me and Dody talked about this because somebody before was saying that T.I. was not trap music. Excuse me? I mean, maybe he later on became not a trap rapper, but to not even have him in the debate, like, it's crazy. They had a mixtape Mount Rushmore. You not putting Wayne on your mixtape Mount Rushmore? Like, we got it. It's not your favorite. It's the Mount Rushmore. It's the it's who get this shit cracking. Who got an impact on this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all. And I know things change when you get into these age brackets. I remember growing up and people used to say, you know, you can't have a conversation with me because you wasn't there, da da da. And I'm in between that, because I want to talk to the younger folks about music, because I want to understand what's getting the young people shaking. Like, what music is making y'all bounce? So I want to have those conversations. I don't want to be like my favorite podcaster and be like, I don't want to talk to you if you didn't use a landline phone about music. I don't like that, because on one hand, You'll be like, the OGs don't come and talk to the young people. That's what's wrong. But then on one hand, you like, I want to talk about you have to, especially nowadays. I think nowadays is the worst of finding old music, right? And it's the digital, it's the streaming. Let me get on my old people soapbox. Let me sound old for 2.5 seconds, right? But it's because of the streaming. When we was growing up, when I was growing up, I'm riding with my mama. I'm listening to what my mama got. It's because she had CDs or tapes. We had to listen to until we could go get our own music. Until Napster came, we had to listen to what the parent was listening to. On one hand, though, my mama's kind of like me. That's where I get it from. She was listening to, my mama's a young mother. You know what I mean? So she's listening to the new stuff of the time. But she also listened to that old school. You know what I'm saying? So while we in the house cleaning up, we heard that. Now it's different for the simple fact that kids got their cell phones, they got streaming, they got their headphones. I ride around listening to myself. I listen to B6, Playboy Cardi, Skrilla, Baby Kia. Like I listen to this the new stuff. But even if I ride around and I'm listening to a Master P or Sade or something I grew up on as well, they can put their headphones in. It's too much music right now. So if you that old head and you think that a younger person need to know about certain people, you have to be that man to say, hey, I see what you're saying. I know you saying Missy Elliott overrated, but let me talk to you about what Missy was doing. I know you saying Sade overrated, but let me talk to you about what Sade was doing. Oh, you don't know who Maxwell is? Oh, Maxwell did this music when he was 20 years old. This is what he was bringing out at 19, 20, 23, whatever his age was. Oh, you think Nas a washed up rapper and he just now, let me tell you what he was doing at 16. Oh, you think Jay just famous off of being with Beyonce? Let me show you what Jay was doing on Reasonable Doubt. You have to be that hand to go back and say, let me show you this. You need that now more than ever, because as the music continue to grow and so many new artists is dropping, and there's no digging in the crates. That shit is just lost. You get what I'm saying? Like my boys, even though they don't, like I don't ride around listening to the oldies but goodies a lot. They know about the Mike Jacks, and I know Mike Jack is one of them you're gonna, you know what I'm saying? But they also know about MF Doom. One of my son's favorite rappers is MF Doom. You know what I'm saying? Because in the household, I like to intertwine. I like to, like I said, I want to know what the new kids, what the new rap is. What is popping? Is some trash out there, like Netspin. My kids let me hear a new Netspin song. That shit is terrible. It's the worst shit ever. It was one of the worst songs ever. But on the other hand, you got Yeet. Yeet just dropped this new song called The Bell. Oh my God. That shit fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta be, I don't even know what got me on that. I was talking about the Mount Rushmores and shit. Yeah. Man, that's the thing when you by yourself and you potting, your mind start going, you ain't got nobody to bounce nothing off of. So now you just start, as you talking, you just start thinking about some shit, right? Well, before I continue to think about some stuff, let me just go ahead. We're gonna be back regular scheduled programming next week. This episode will not have a video, and that's on me. We use my phone to record, but today again, holiday. Happy Easter to everybody. It's a holiday. I'm running around doing stuff. I ain't even thinking about charging my phone. And I got down here. I said, oh, let me go ahead and knock this out, so we can at least have some content for tomorrow. Fucked around, didn't charge my phone. God damn. It's not my fault, though. It's not my fault. I mean, it is my fault. But it happens, right? This week we were supposed to review Xavier So Bass. We're gonna touch on that next week. And again, speaking of the young boy music, this was a suggestion from one of my sons. We're gonna talk about that next week. And yeah, we here again. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. It is Late to the Party Knoxville. Follow me on social media, Cuts by Reggie, and then follow Dody. It's just _ Dody. It's with a Z, ITZ, just Dody. Yeah, man, just hit us up, man. We wanna start growing a little bit more. We want to start trying to do this the right way. And the reason that we are called Late to the Party is because, yes, we understand there are 1,000 on thousands of podcasts. We late to the party. But just like there's thousands of rappers, eventually they break through, and that's just what we're trying to do. We trying to eventually break through. I know Dody has goals with the podcast. I have certain things I want to do with the podcast. I got things that I hope that it brings me. You know what I'm saying? Like, not even like one thing, and I'm about to get up out of here. I'm about to get up out of here. But one thing that I don't think about with this podcast is getting paid, right? And if it come, I'm not running from it. But I love to talk about music. We love to conversate about music. And there are certain people that I personally want to sit down with. I mean, it ain't even got to be with a camera. Like a Joe Budden, a Charlemagne, a Eminem, if life brings me that way. You know what I'm saying? A Big Crit. Like, there's people I just want to sit down and talk music with. A Kendrick Lamar, a Drake, shit. Like I said, it don't even have to be recorded. Like, I just want to be in a room with certain people talking about this is what I love. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's that on that. We'll talk about that more later. But again, we do appreciate y'all for following us and checking us out. Thank you for listening to another episode of Late to the Party with Dody and Reggie. I am Reggie. Shout out to Dody. And we'll be back. Peace, man. We out.